There's a weapon the Pentagon doesn't want you to know about. It weighs 30,000 pounds. It's 20 feet long. It can penetrate 200 feet of reinforced concrete and destroy anything buried underground. And right now, it's loaded onto America's most advanced bomber. The target? Iran's nuclear facilities. The timeline? 72 hours. Iran has no idea what's coming, but you're about to find out exactly what this weapon does and why Trump just gave Iran 3 days to surrender before he uses it. This is the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, the largest non-nuclear bomb ever built. 30,000 pounds of high explosive designed for one purpose: destroying deeply buried targets that nothing else can touch. Most bunker busters can penetrate 30 or 40 feet of concrete. This weapon goes through 200 feet. That's the length of 2/3 of a football field, straight down, through solid, reinforced concrete. And at the bottom, it detonates with enough force to collapse an entire underground facility. There are only 20 of these bombs in existence, and the Pentagon just loaded them onto B-2 Spirit stealth bombers. The mission was set for tomorrow. Then Trump's phone rang. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. 3 Arab leaders called Trump within hours of each other, all saying the same thing: wait. Give Iran one last chance to negotiate. Don't launch the strike yet. And Trump agreed, but he didn't cancel the mission. He delayed it. 72 hours. 3 days for Iran to accept U.S. terms and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. 3 days for diplomacy to work. And if it doesn't, the B-2 bombers take off. The bunker busters drop. And Iran's nuclear program gets buried under 200 feet of collapsed concrete and rubble. Here's what makes this weapon different from everything else the U.S. has used in this war. Iran learned from watching America bomb Iraq. They learned from watching Israel strike Syria. And they learned the lesson every Middle Eastern country learns. If you want to protect something important, bury it deep underground. Iran's nuclear facilities aren't sitting on the surface where a cruise missile can hit them. They're hundreds of feet below ground. Natanz fuel enrichment plant, Fordo fuel enrichment plant, both built inside mountains, both protected by layers of concrete and rock. Regular bombs can't touch them. Even the bunker busters the U.S. used in Iraq during Desert Storm couldn't reach these depths. So Iran's leadership thought they were safe. They thought their nuclear program was untouchable. They were wrong. The GBU-57 was designed specifically for targets like this. It's so large that only one aircraft in the world can carry it: the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. Each B-2 costs $2 billion. There are only 20 in existence, and each one can carry 2 of these massive bombs. The weapon itself uses a delayed fuse. It doesn't explode on impact. It punches through the first layer of concrete, then the second, then the third, driving deeper and deeper until it reaches the target depth. Then it detonates. The explosion doesn't just destroy the facility. It causes a cave-in. The entire underground structure collapses. Everything inside gets crushed under millions of tons of rock and concrete. There's no rebuilding from that. Once this weapon hits, the facility is gone forever. And right now, multiple B-2 bombers are ready to launch from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. The flight to Iran takes roughly 15 hours with aerial refueling. The bombers would approach from multiple directions, flying at 50,000 feet, completely invisible to Iranian radar. By the time Iran detected anything, the bombs would already be falling. Each facility would get hit by multiple weapons to ensure complete destruction. Natanz first, then Fordo, the 2 sites where Iran enriches uranium to weapons-grade levels. Take those out, and Iran's nuclear program is set back 10 to 15 years minimum, maybe permanently. But here's why Trump delayed the strike. It's not mercy. It's not weakness. It's leverage. Arab leaders told Trump that if he launches this attack, the entire region explodes. Iran would retaliate by hitting every oil facility in the Persian Gulf, Saudi Arabia's oil fields, UAE's refineries, Kuwait's export terminals, Qatar's natural gas plants, everything. The global oil supply would collapse overnight. Gas prices in the United States would hit $8 or $9 per gallon. The world economy would go into recession, maybe depression. So the Arab leaders offered Trump a deal. Give us 72 hours to pressure Iran. We'll tell Tehran that if they don't reopen Hormuz and agree to nuclear inspections, we won't stop the US from using these weapons. We'll let the bombers fly, and Iran will lose everything. This puts Iran in an impossible position. If they refuse, the bunker busters destroy their nuclear program. Years of work, billions of dollars invested, thousands of centrifuges buried under mountains, all gone in one strike. But if they accept US terms, they surrender their only leverage, the Strait of Hormuz, the choke point that gives Iran power over global oil markets. Once they reopen it, they lose the ability to threaten the world economy. They become just another sanctioned country with no cards left to play. Either way, Iran loses. The only question is whether they lose everything now or just most of it. Trump announced this on Truth Social today. He said he was planning to launch a major attack tomorrow. Nobody in the public knew. It was classified. But he revealed it to pressure Iran. He's telling them, I have the weapon. I have the target. I have the bombers ready. And in 72 hours, if you don't comply, I'm using them. It's psychological warfare combined with military readiness. Trump isn't bluffing. The Pentagon confirmed the bunker busters are loaded. The B-2 crews are briefed. The targets are programmed. Everything is ready. The only thing stopping the strike is Iran's decision in the next 3 days. And here's what makes this even more intense. Iran can't hide from these weapons. They can't shoot them down. The B-2 is invisible to radar. By the time Iran knows the bombers are there, the bombs are already falling. Iran's air defenses are designed to stop cruise missiles and drones, not stealth bombers at 50,000 feet. And even if Iran somehow detected the B-2s, they have no interceptors that can reach that altitude. The bombs would hit their targets no matter what Iran does. The only defense Iran has is diplomacy, accepting US terms before the deadline expires. So what happens in 72 hours? If Iran reopens the Strait of Hormuz and agrees to nuclear inspections, Trump delays the strike again, maybe permanently. He gets what he wants without dropping the bombs. But if Iran refuses, the B-2s launch. 15 hours later, the bunker busters hit Natanz and Fordo. Iran's nuclear facilities collapse, and the war enters a new phase where Iran has nothing left to lose. That's the scenario everyone fears, because a desperate Iran with no nuclear program and no economic leverage becomes unpredictable. They might launch everything they have left at US bases, Israeli cities, and Arab oil fields, not because they think they'll win, but because they have nothing left to protect. Trump just put Iran on a countdown. 72 hours to surrender or face the most powerful non-nuclear weapon ever created. A weapon specifically designed to destroy everything Iran has spent decades protecting. The clock is ticking, and Iran has no idea how to stop it.